And now we're going to hear the interview that Patrick talked about with Kim Dorr-Tilley.
Well, we're basically going back across the ocean in a sense. We're in the United States, actually in the hills above Hollywood at the Bel-Air church with Kim Dorr-Tilley, who's an associate pastor there. And I have to tell you, there are times during that interview that you're going to feel moved to tears. Her inspiration is incredible. And I got to tell you, when you're in Hollywood and you're trying to save souls in Hollywood, it's a tall order. It's kind of a crazy place. So this interview is enormously impactful, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you. Here we are now coming to the end of our episode 8 after this interview. And we're a 9-episode docuseries with Christ Revealed, with the history, the evidence, and the inspiration. But I don't want you to feel like it's fading. It's actually escalating. Again, in episode 9, I'll be interviewing Mike Huckabee. Governor Mike Huckabee, a public figure who is very outspoken about his faith, is someone that you want to hear from. I really got a lot out of that interview with this amazing man. Remember also that I want to thank you for your support of Christ Revealed. I don't ever want to let you think that that's lost on me. And I want you to know that right now, Christ Revealed is still available while we're airing it for 50% off of the normal price. So thank you for your support. If there are people that you think would also benefit from this, you might want to consider getting Christ Revealed for them also. So enjoy this interview. Kim, I want to say thanks so much for inviting us to this beautiful location here in Los Angeles to have this conversation. I'd like to start out by just having you tell me a bit about your background and what brought you to where you are today.
Sure. My name is Kim Dorr-Tilley, and currently I'm one of the associate pastors here at Bel-Air Presbyterian Church in Los Angeles. And in a tiny nutshell, I came out to LA actually to be a wife and mother. I had pursued acting when I was back in Denver, Colorado. Thought I'd be a classical theater actress, and I met an actor back there, and his path was to come out to LA. So very young, came out with that intention of starting a family. That did not pan out, and when I got out to LA, knew nobody, and got a job at a production company that grew very quickly into being a casting director. So from a casting director, I became a talent agent, owned my own talent agency, and so I had a career in entertainment for about 35 years. And concurrently with that, this incredible thing happened where I became a Christian. Became a Christian right before my 30th birthday. And this journey with God, with my Lord, started really picking up steam, and experienced a call to ministry, and went to seminary here in LA, and kept thinking that God would end my career in entertainment and begin a career in ministry, and his plan was actually to weave those together. And so I actually spent 10 years as an associate pastor and as a talent agency owner, which is one of the strangest hyphenates that people have ever heard of.
I'd say it's quite unusual.
Yeah.
What was it that happened that when you were roughly 30, I think you said, that that changed your life?
Well, I can mention that I got divorced. And I got married very young. I got married when I was 21. And there was a lot of, what your mind and your heart attach itself to, of what you want this to be. You want this to be your knight in shining armor. You want this to be a safe place. And it wasn't. So my 20s were they were hard on me emotionally because there really wasn't a safe place. And when I got out to LA, I kind of got sucked right into the New Age movement.
Mm-hmm.
Being from Colorado, I think that I absolutely had some sense of a creator God. Mm-hmm. It's hard to look at the Rocky Mountains and not go, wow, and feel something other than, hey, that's a rock. There is something that's testifying to something.
Right.
And I grew up with that, but we were Christmas, Easter when I grew up. We didn't talk about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got out here, being spiritual without having any grounding, I was ripe for the New Age movement. And right when I got to LA is when Shirley MacLaine and her book Out on a Limb was out, and Deepak Chopra, and there was so much about the spirit world.
Right.
And so I was so open to that, and found in the context of such a hardship in my emotional life with my marriage, that I was in a very conscious pursuit of knowing the name of my spirit guide. Mm-hmm. And that was all New Age driven. I used to say out loud, there's truth on the other side, and if I could just reach it, whatever that wisdom and truth is, it will help me where I am right now. Mm-hmm. And I believed that. I don't know why I believed it, but I believed it. And I would go to as many places and talk to as many people with really one question. And that question was, who is my spirit guide? Right. And never got an answer. I can tell you about your past lives. I can tell you about your auras. It's like, I don't really care that much. Mm-hmm. But I do care about who my spirit guide is. I want a name. I want a name. And I felt like if I could get the name, that wisdom would start pouring into my life, and I'd have some path of how to get out what was really difficult for me. And went through this divorce, the marriage ended, and right about the same time, one of my best friends, who was raised Christian but had not been walking out her faith, was not connected to her faith when we met, she had some events in her life, and she came back to her faith. She rededicated herself to being a follower of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. So now I've got this friend of mine who's talking to me about Jesus, and I am the person going, how could a Christian believe that? How could a Christian believe this? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. And I kept engaging her in conversations, debunking her.
Right.
And this culminated with me calling her up one night and saying, do you want to hang out? And she was looking for a church to join, and she said, well, I'm going to go to a church tonight. Do you want to come? Yeah, sure, I don't care. It could have been a bowling alley, could have been a bar. I just wanted to hang out with my friend. And on the way to church that night, she said, I said to her, I said, I don't like it that you look at me and think I'm wrong. And she said, I don't think of you as wrong. I think of you as distracted from the path. And I said, what does that mean? And she said, do you want to know how I pray for you when I pray for you? And now that's like somebody saying, you want to know what you look like when you sleep? I'm like, that's weird. You pray for me? What do you pray for me? And she said, Kim, I feel pain in my body, physical pain in my body when I pray for you. She said, I have never met anybody more determined to find a path that you know is there. You know it's there. So when I pray for you, I see you in this jungle, running through this jungle, and you're tripping over roots and branches or slapping into and you're getting bloodied and bruised, looking for what you know is there, and you keep getting up and running deeper into a jungle. She said, I'm standing on the path that you're looking for, and somebody else got bloodied and bruised for me, and his name is Jesus.
That's it for this particular interview. Thanks for joining me. Really excited to take this ongoing journey with you as we keep bringing more content. If you haven't already, you really should subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of phenomenal content coming down the road into the future that you'll want to know about. Leave a comment down here. I think people would love to hear from you, and then you can hear from them too. If you liked it, go ahead and give a like. It only takes half a second, and share this with people that you care about. The world needs more light in it right now. So thanks for being with me. Hope to connect with you again soon.